Hello boys, it's Mash. This video is going to be a little bit different from my usual videos and will be more discussion like than normal. So if you do end up enjoying this video, please consider liking because I really want this video to perform well so I can continue doing videos like this. So a like on this video will be extremely appreciated because I really want to see if there is any support for this type of series. Mages are literally just a better archer, and I can even attest to that with the test. Right now, with my Frozen Scythe and Mosquito Bow, which are both made at the highest tier, like all reforges, the only thing that it isn't is these are not recombobulated, but that really won't make that big of a difference. If we take this Mosquito Bow, fully charge it, and shoot it, we're doing 32k, right? Good. If I take my Frozen Scythe and shoot it, I'm doing 27k. So yeah, what? My myth is broken? Yeah, I'm wrong apparently because Mosquito is better? No. You have to remember, you have to wait to actually charge up this bow. It takes a few seconds for you to charge up the bow to get that damage. Then watch something like the Scythe. Oh, I want to hit that thing. Boom. 1 second, not even a second of time. You just click it, boom, instantly will send out. No waiting time, nothing. This is way faster. So, mob right there, boom. Not even a close range weapon. So it even takes the cake for a long range weapon too, taking away the thing that makes the Mosquito Bow or archers even good. So it literally makes the Frozen Scythe basically the Mosquito Bow, but way better and no cooldown. Oh boy, we haven't even gotten started. That was favoring the Mosquito Bow. I was trying to make the Mosquito Bow better, and it was barely beating it. Now, I'm going to be using Tarantula Armor, which has decent damage, as well as I put Ys on some of the pieces. So now I have about 400 mana more. Now, if we look at the damage now when we go to these zombies, you can see this Mosquito Bow. It's dealing, let's see how much it's dealing. It's dealing about 23k, I'm pretty sure. Let's just get one crit. 23k, yeah. It's dealing 23k. Not bad, right? Especially because we're not using something like Superior. Then we take the Scythe. 43,000 damage. 43,000. That is like way better. That is almost double the Mosquito Bow. Double. And it has the exact same use. Like, why would you use this Mosquito Bow? Why? Please tell me why. Like, you can shoot it from so far too. Like, right there. Ooh, I see that villager. Boom. And it's even easier to aim because this is like a hit scan. Because you just look, I want to shoot that. You point it to the head, shoot it, it hits the head. Here, say I want to, because we don't have aiming, I have to aim my bow so it would curve and hit it. I don't actually get perfect accuracy like this. So I can see some mob super far away, like all the way over there, and I just look at its head, right click, accurate. It's gonna hit it. I don't know why you would even use the Mosquito Bow. It's so useless compared to the Mage. So now we go into the problem about spacing. In dungeons, you can see that the spacing is extremely bad. It's so small, it is meant for mages and berserkers so much more than anything else. So it's not a surprise that Archer, which is supposed to be long range, isn't very good because there's nowhere to actually shoot long range. And even if you were to try and find a good long range place, most mobs can just outrange you. If you get to a place where you can actually outrange the mobs, then they'll probably just be able to use an ability that like lasers you from afar, or it's like a lost adventurer and they'll just start bowing you. So there's basically no reason to actually use the archer class because you can't even use the range ability to an advantage. This isn't the biggest issue, but getting drops as an archer is really hard. If you're going to go and actually try to get a drop, say from one of these zombies, it drops some, I don't know, like a chest plate, you won't be able to get it as an archer because you'll be so far away. You might think that this is faced by scythe users and mage users as well, but it isn't, because mage users can just come here and shoot all the mobs right in front of them. They don't have to go and range themselves out, but they have the option to. Mosquito bow users or archers have to range themselves because it is not even viable for them to go and stand up right to it and then charge a bow and shoot. It's just so awkward, and it just doesn't make any sense to do. And now let's go into the technical stuff that's bad. So if we go into the Skyblock menu, go to our skills, and then the dungeoneering, and then the archer. The archer class, I'm not the best, level 5, but still pretty decent. If you look at the ability, it is extremely bad. They're so useless. The stun bow, decent, a pretty good ability, can't lie about that. Arrow gift, 5 arrows. What are you going to do with 5 arrows? You can literally do nothing with 5 arrows. Why would another class be using arrows? I don't know why that exists. That has to be changed. Then something like these stone abilities, they're just as useless. Like rapid fire on paper, yeah, pretty good. Like being able to shoot 5 arrows per second for 5 seconds, bruh, pretty good. 25 hours. But then if you actually use it, it's so useless. You can barely hit any of the arrows, and even if they do hit, you don't do that much damage, and then you have to wait another 100 seconds, like a minute and a half, over a minute and a half, just to use it again. And then explosive shot, it's like bugged even. I'm pretty sure it's bugged and doesn't even do that much damage, and it's basically useless. That's how bad these abilities for the archer is. And even if it did work, it's such a high cooldown, I don't even know why you would use it, because it would just be so useless. Because if it did kill players or mobs, it wouldn't really be that good. Then just comparing it to any other mob just shows how bad it is. Like if I just go to tank, look at the tank ghost ability, stun potion. That is actually really good, being able to stun players. Then absorption potion, being able to actually heal players or give them extra hearts. It's just these are really good abilities, and they're balanced. Then if you go to something like Berserker, this also has being able to throw axes and deal damage, and actually being able to give strength to teammates. Really good abilities. Mage, really good abilities. Instant wall, being able to block players, and then even fireball. They're good abilities. And don't even, like, the dungeon stone abilities on these things are way better. Like the guided sheep does a load of damage, and the thunderstorm is like really good. It can hit all mobs, and it just hits everything. It's broken to a point. It does have a huge cooldown, but it's just really good compared to something like this ability, which is basically garbage. There's like no reason to use it over any of the other abilities here. There are a few ways they can fix it. So the first one is probably the biggest way, and it's basically being able to crit on more hits. So right now you can only crit if you've fully drawn back your bow. This is so stupid. Like no one's going to be able to do that. No one can fully draw their bow out. This is like how everything works, but in dungeons it just highlighted how bad it is. But in the regular game, yes, it's a good balance change. But in dungeons, no, it is not good. We already know dungeon gets special changes, so this should be a special change, which makes it so you can crit on less bow charges. Like a half charge should be able to crit. You should care more about charging the bow because you want to shoot it to a certain area, instead of actually charging the bow because you want to do damage. So you should be able to shoot your bow, and if you want to hit that mob, then oh yes, I'm going to shoot it far. But if you want to hit a mob close to you, you don't want people to go like this and to be like, okay, yes, I'm gonna fully charge my bow just to shoot it right in front of me. No, you should be able to go and half charge your bow. You shouldn't have to actually fully charge your bow just to hit stuff close to you, because that's the only way to do good damage. You should be able to do the most damage at a close range, because they have made the game close range. So they can't think that people won't be having to do close range damage as an archer. It's basically impossible in some times in the game to actually outrange yourself. So they have to make it at least decent to be able to outrange or play in close range as an archer. Then there's two other viable things they can do to make it a little bit better. So they want you to outrange mobs, so make it so you can run away. Just makes sense. If there's a mob and you don't want players to go right up to it and charge their bow up, then make it easier for them to run away and get range from them. So instead of having to go and charge like this, you should be able to be decently fast and get yourself far away and then shoot from a comfortable distance. If that's how the devs want the game to play out, they should add that, because that reinforces people actually keeping their distance and running away, instead of them actually having to just be close to them and shooting them with a fully charged bow, which feels really awkward. And then there's aiming. Aiming was removed from dungeons, which makes sense. It would be really overpowered. But at least give us some aiming. It's so hard to be exactly precise. Like, yes, technically you should be able to hit every shot, but let's be honest, people are gonna shoot like there and then miss their shot. Why can't it hit? They should be able to hit in a decent range. They shouldn't have to be perfectly accurate. It just doesn't make sense to me that they get no aiming. Like, I think at least a bit of aiming would be nice for players, because it's so hard to be perfectly accurate. So just give us like some slack and just give us a little bit of aiming. Like, it can even be like level 1 or 2. Like, we just want a bit, just so that we don't have to be like exactly precise, and like the hitbox basically is a bit larger, so we can hit around the head instead of having to hit directly on them. The last change is a bit game changing for the archer class and can be really good if implemented correctly. And this is being able to charge your bow while you're running. Being able to do this would fix so many problems. It would fix the problems of close range, because you could be running and you could approach players or mobs with your bow charging. So you wouldn't have to be charging your bow from afar, or you wouldn't have to be charging your bow from close. Or you could also be in the fact that this mob is right beside you. You could run away while charging a bow, then look back and shoot it, instead of having to go running over there then shooting. That's a little bit slow, so that change could be really good. Then there's a bunch of different things, but the main thing is just fun. Playing with a frozen scythe, if you've ever played Mage, it's so fun. You just get to go up to things and shoot them all the time without no cooldown or anything. You just get to shoot everything. It's so fun. But something with a mosquito bow, it's like you run up to something, charge your bow, shoot it. Run up to something, charge your bow, shoot it. It's just not fun. But the scythe or any other of the mage items, they're just fun. So we just need to have this in the game. That's all that I've got for today, and I'm pretty passionate about the subject because I really want Archer to be a good class. I've been grinding for the mosquito bow and all this stuff since I've started playing Skyblock, and when I realized there'd be an Archer class, I was ecstatic. I was so happy. And to see the class being so bad, it's just a little bit saddening. So I just really want to see the devs put some love into it and make the class actually good, because it's really fun playing other classes like Mage and all those, and even Tank and even Healer are really fun classes to play. But just playing something like Archer, it's just depressing. Like, we need some change. If any of these changes or any changes at all happen to Archer, I'd be so happy. So thank you for watching, and subscribe and like if you do enjoy these type of videos, and goodbye.